As you probably know, Funimation has been caught multiple times in the past changing the content of their scripts. Funimation, of course, licenses the IP. They redub it and then distribute it. And when they're redubbing it, at times they have been caught not just dubbing the dialogue. For example, yeah, some things in Japan won't translate perfectly to English. That's fair and true. But that's different than what Funimation has been caught doing at times. They don't just alter it to make sense to the English audience while staying as true to the original IP as possible, but they have gone out of their way at times to actually change their dubbed version and interject Western, current-day political issues into the content in a way that, in my opinion, feels like propaganda. It's disturbing. Certain situations where this occurred in was with Yuno, Prison School, Interview with Monster Girls, and Dragon Maid. Those are some of the more popular situations, the more well-known situations where Funimation has been caught doing things like that. This story, reported from One Angry Gamer, is actually a year old. But I gotta say, this is a good report because this one seems like it has flown under the radar. I haven't heard of this one until now. So I think a lot of people might be in the same situation. Maybe you've heard of this, maybe not though. So what they write here at OAG, Funimation promised an uncut Blu-ray version of Tsugumomo, but they delivered the censored version of the box copy after customers purchased it thinking that it was uncut. This news is actually old, really old. In fact, it was covered by Dojins.com a year ago when the first issue arose. Apparently, some people are just now figuring out that Funimation lied and are now making us think about it again a year later. On the back of the box, it reads, "Watch the whole series completely uncut." And we have a screenshot here. That said, I'm going to have to be careful showing the rest of the screenshots in this report because, well, you know, the content we're dealing with here. But I'll explain in the best detail that I can. So, you can see an image of the box which clearly claims at the top of the box that the Blu-ray edition is uncut. And let me scroll very carefully so I don't go too far and show some things that I'll get in trouble for showing. You know, some little muffins and all that. Anyways, watch the whole series completely uncut. And I don't know if OAG did this or whoever sent the screenshot, but whoever did this, if it was OAG or someone else, thank you. Without this circle, you know, it would be a lot more difficult. Thank you for this MS Paint circle. I appreciate it. Seriously, though, thank you. Watch the whole series completely uncut. So, yeah, if they're claiming it's uncut and then they get called out for having it not completely uncut, well, that's the situation we're in. So let me scroll down a little bit. Again, I have to be really careful. I want to get this tweet, but I don't want to get the images. All right, here it is. Too bad it isn't completely uncut like your packaging claims and is in fact the same censored release you cranked out 2 years ago at Funimation. Hashtag Tsugumomo. Hashtag false advertisement. I like that last one. Just throwing that in there. So this is pretty crazy. I would love to show you these pictures, but I'm going to explain what we have here. So, all right. In the uncut version, for example, we have a picture of this lovely woman, and you can certainly see she's well endowed. In the Funimation version, the screen is cropped, so you don't see that part of her. Another example, we have two characters. This female character, you can see her entire chest. And in the Funimation okay, let me explain this one a little differently. So in this other picture I'm looking at, we have two characters, and in the original version, the characters are side by side, and you can see their chests. In the Funimation version, they took the two characters, they put one in front of the other, so it's blocking that character's chest, and the one that's blocking them, they cropped the screen so you don't see it. It's cropped there. So one's cropped out, and the other one is blocking the other one. So not only did they like crop this differently, but they actually moved that character to go in front of the other one. It's pretty out there, man, and I'd love to show you guys, but you understand why I can't. But that's what's going on with that. So OAG continues to write here. Maybe those scenes were still censored in the original uncut version in Japan. Well, you might have a point, except for the fact that the evidence from the original uncut Blu-ray proves otherwise, and that's when they showed the screenshots that I just described. So it is blatant censorship. In my opinion, this is as blatant as it gets. And apparently, here's the kicker. Now, let me see if I can bring it. I can't bring it up on screen still. It's a little. It actually, hold up. Let me see what I can do here. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave that one. So, as reported by Dojins.com, Funimation issued a statement as to why they kept with the censored version of Tsugumomo, their Blu-ray release, even though they advertised that it would be uncut, writing, And let me also mention that this is not the first time Funimation has given some kind of like weird response to being called out. And man, I'm so sick of companies doing this. Another really recent example was NIS America. I'll link that video in the description if you haven't seen that one. Absolutely insane. Really quick, 10-second TLDR. NIS America got called out because they had localizers on a Twitch live stream talking about how they literally changed the content because some of the Japanese jokes are offensive to the Western audience. That's more or less what they were saying. People found out about this. They started, voicing their concern, as they reasonably should. And someone actually reached out to NIS America, and I think it was one of their PR people. I forget exactly who it was. It was one of the NIS America execs. They responded with such a BS response. It just pissed everyone off even more. Their response was basically, no, we don't censor things. We caught you doing it, though. Literally, that's why people are contacting you right now, because your employees said that you do. And then they just double down. It's absurd. But let's take a look at Funimation's statement here. So apparently Funimation wrote this. This is the statement. Funimation's normal process is to utilize uncensored materials when available to produce a home video release. If uncensored materials are not available, we utilize the TV broadcast version. This was the case with the Tsugumomo, the complete series BD/DVD combo, which utilizes a combination of uncensored and TV broadcast materials based on what was available for the licensor during home video production. Now, if that's the case, maybe they should have, maybe on the box it should say nearly completely uncut, or maybe they shouldn't even advertise it as being completely uncut. That seems insincere. And for Funimation specifically, man, this is not the first time that Funimation has like put the blame on another company. I wasn't planning on looking this up, but give me just 1 second. So I'm going to be looking up the situation with Vic Mignogna where Funimation was being called out for removing his credits, and then they blamed it on like iTunes or something. Like this was a weird story. I already pulled this one up. Thank you for your patience. So let me give you a refresher on this. Funimation, they had this situation. This is reported from Bounding. So Rekieta, our buddy Nick Rekieta, he tweeted at Funimation when he found out about this issue. Funimation responded saying, "Hey there, Nick. Thanks for spotting this for us. This is an error on the iTunes listing. He is appropriately listed on other retailers. Here's Best Buy's listing, for example. We are working to get the iTunes listing fixed." So they diverted the blame there. And again, they were being called out for... here's what Nick's tweet says. And unfortunately, you might know, or maybe you don't know, but that account is now gone. Rekieta, that account is RIP. He's on a different account now. So it says... Wait a minute, did iTunes remove Vic Mignogna from Dragon Ball Super Broly credits, or did Funimation? I hope that didn't violate some contractual agreement. Now, I mentioned the account being removed because, well, you don't see the tweet anymore. It's just text. But that's what that was about. So that was Funimation's response. And then they further said something really weird as well. This just further complicated the situation. They said, "We are no longer the licensor for Full Metal Alchemist. A little further clarification, we have not had the rights to Full Metal Alchemist since 2016. So it's just really weird, man. I personally don't trust Funimation at all. I'm not telling you not to. You got to make your own opinion on this stuff. That said, most people tuning into my content, I think we don't share the same opinions on everything, and I love that. But when it comes to Funimation, man, I think most people here probably don't trust them. And I would say if you would fall into that category, you probably have a pretty good reason for not trusting them. So this response from today's story reminds me of that one. That's why I brought it up. And, yeah. Funimation, man. Great company. All right. That's all I have for this report, though, but interesting stuff. Glad to be talking about this now, and thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in, because, again, this was a situation that kind of flew under the radar, so it's good that now there's some awareness being spread to this one, too. If you enjoy the content that we are producing here on this channel and on YanNet, consider becoming a channel member via the join button here on YouTube, or a patron on Patreon, or you can just make a one-time donation if you like. Easiest way to do that's probably just going to YanNet and scrolling to the bottom. We have a PayPal donation option right there. Very streamlined, very safe, very simple. But you got some options. Of course, just liking the video, commenting down below, and or sharing the video helps tremendously, helps engagement, gets the video recommended and all that sort of thing as well. And I know you guys have been helping me out a lot with the promotion, so thank you for that. And now, let's wrap this one up. My system is still down, but I have another way, and it's not, oh gosh, I'm going to say it. I don't want to say it. It's not TubeBuddy. It's Twitter search. Twitter search, hopefully I get everyone with this one. Thank you, Ollie Wooly Gaming, Jem, Stefan, Decker Ramirez, 27 Zippos, Ryu Mao, Simone Bar Boys, Caesar Ravenwood, Annoyed Gambler, Bunny Knight Scarlet, JD, Martin Von Saberwolf, and Deshaun Miller. Again, that was not with my system. That was just going through Twitter search. Hopefully I got everyone, but if I missed you, I am truly sorry. And hopefully vidIQ, that's what I use currently. Hopefully that comes online again like the next day or two. But that's what we got for now. And thank you again for your time and your assistance. And I'll see you next time.